China's one-child policy was created about 3 decades ago. The government feared the possibility of a population overgrowth. Because of this, China's workforce mostly depended on the elders.
Then, under the Vang era, they instituted an encouragement program where they said 1 is best, 2 is okay, 3 is too many, and immediately the fertility rate was chopped in half. It was successful. Then they instituted this draconian one-child policy, which was coercively enforced from the very beginning, and they did it for economic reasons. They believed that the future of China, the prosperity of China, had to do with reducing the population.
The one-child policy was enforced heavily and usually ended in abortion or a heavy fine. The one-child policy forced upon parents to choose between a boy or a girl. Because of this, there was a mass gendercide. So, what are your original thoughts on the one-child policy?
So my original thought about one-child policy, because I was grew up in a only child home, a family, so it wasn't an issue for me. Especially for my generation, me and my friends we all grew up in only child families. So it's kind of, I think for my generation, it's like a very common phenomenon. So we do not feel it's unfair in some way. But I think probably our older generations, they have more opinions toward that, because especially from my mother's generation, they have more than one siblings. So I think when I reflect on my experiences, I think elder people, they talk about these issues more than us do.
Announced just a few years back, the law was changed, allowing families to have 2 children. Do you think this law will change things?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the biggest change is probably the family structures. In the past, you only have three members in your family as a unit, but now you have another person in your family. There are also some issues with that, because when you consider to have a baby, you need to think about the education cost, the housing, and you need to think about your salaries, and it's just many other issues with that. But and also I think also from the elder generation's perspective, they might feel happy about this policy, because in China we used to have this tradition that people tend to have a big family, but it was just that they are hoping there are many people inherit the family name, and they think it's kind of like a lucky thing, a good thing to have more offspring. And in China, there are also a tradition that as a children, you need to take care of your parents when they are old. So I think from this perspective, the elder family, they're trying to persuade the younger young mom, young dads to have more children, because they are thinking in someday, if their children getting old, they have 2 children to take care of.
Okay, let's go on to the next question. The policy mostly focused on city families. What are your thoughts on why the government did this?
Well, as I mentioned to you before, I don't say this as policy only focused in cities, but I can tell, because in China it's like China is in developing, and the population issues has been like very serious problem in the huge cities. And I think there is another like trend. It's more like a society problem that people live in the suburb, they tend to move to the cities. So they want to set up home, bring their family to the cities, because in the cities the children can have a better living conditions. Also can get more like superior education resources. So I think that's probably the reason why, and probably because in the city, life in the cities have more opportunities even for the parents themselves.
Parents had to choose which child they favored more, and most of them would have been boys, and any other children would have been left behind. "80% of abandoned children left to orphanage could die there, and each baby who is found is usually 4 babies to a crib, 1 staff for every 30 kids. We can help by donating to International China Concern, giving every abandoned child a better future. Just because the one-child policy is ended does not mean there are still children that are left behind. There are many of us with the ability to reach out at just a click of a button.